Dati naman, we have several presidents who were sick and they handled it differently. You have President Arroyo, she had medical report, di ba? Si President Fidel Ramos, he had medical report and he showed himself after the procedure kasi inopera siya. And of course, well, when Marcos was dictator, you know, wala talagang sinabi. I mean, because they kept it a secret. That's the whole problem. They kept it a secret from the people. But that is no longer possible under the 87 Constitution. Di ba?
Tama ho.
All right. So, it's only Arroyo and Ramos. And both of them depended on their medical team to say. I mean, they all said, I'm all right. But it cannot be just them. It had to be a medical team. Do you think that should happen with President Duterte, or do you think his word is enough?
The President has spoken ho naman a number of times, pero maganda rin ho na marinig ng taong bayan yung doktor kasi sila yung professional eh. So it also adds to the stability of thinking.
But in your opinion, the President's statement will be sufficient. Okay.
It encourages more transparency po na merong nare-release na medical bulletin about the President's state of health. Kaya nga po magandang tanungin ngayon, ano nga ba talaga yung current na policy nila about the provision in the Constitution? Kasi kung dati ganun ang policy, then, you know, maybe people are expecting the same now, na may regular updates. No? It depends on how much our government wants the people to trust them. And part of that is by building on policies and procedures that allow for transparency. Gaano sila ka-open?
Kailangan transparent.
Opo.
You are recommending transparency.
But not to compel doctors to break their confidentiality, but transparency from government itself.
Kung may sakit ang isang presidente na maselan, talagang dapat magpahinga. Wala nga eh.
When President Arroyo was ill, there was somebody from the hospital informing the public what was going on. Was that because the President, as a private citizen, said, you can do that?
I think it was the President who voluntarily allowed them. Sige, sabihin nyo sa publiko.
But before that, there was like nagkaroon pa ng kaguluhan nga, di ba? In fact, in that particular case, I think dun nga nakita na yung mga doktor naiipit din sila kasi they have to abide by their own ethics, which is important, no, for any doctor-patient relationship. Ayaw natin na bigla na lang iisipin na para rin pong sa abogado, hindi mo naman i-disclose yung mga privilege kasi may importante ang trust for every individual, not just for the President. Gusto mo na meron kang freedom na sabihin ng lahat na makakatulong sa kalusugan mo na walang pag-aalala na baka isang araw biglang lumabas yan. And what is the reason for this? Sometimes may mga sakit na kapag basta mo na lang sinabi sa publiko, pwede kang ma-judge. Maisipan ka na may problema sa'yo kahit wala. It's the discrimination, the stigma associated with disease, which baka isipin serious kahit hindi naman serious, or hindi na niya kayang perform yung function niya kahit hindi. May stigma rin po kasing associated or mapagtawanan katulad ng mga nangyayari sa ibang gobyerno na pinagdududahan pa kung may sakit sila. May consequence po siya eh. I think the President and the Office of the President should be able to inform the public. It's a matter of our
The
trust.
Office of the President.
Whoever is authorized to speak on behalf of the President as part of the mandate under the
Do you agree
Constitution.
to that? Do you
Oho,
agree with
because
that?
the Office of the President is part of government. At dapat alam nila yan.
Sila yung may
Kasi
alam
meron ho
eh.
sa Office of the may
Sila
doktor
yung may
doon eh.
knowledge.
Kung magkakaroon po ng malalang sakit ang Pangulo, paano at sino po ang bagsa sa publiko nito?
Di syempre yung kami. Hindi ang gobyerno, ang executive department. Because that is a requirement by the Constitution. At susundin yan.
Dapat alam nila
muna,
yan.
sandali lang.
So they have to
So you
inform.
mean to say the spokesman can say the President is all right. The President can say, oh, I'm all right. Should not be the ones who are medical people say what is exactly the status?
Tama
I
ho
cannot
yan.
understand you.
Well, kaya maganda nga ho sana kung yung doktor. But yung doktor, i-brief yung spokesperson and Siguro
Or
doon
that's
nila-
the
Pwede yun.
maybe the
You know,
similar.
in other words, the public receives it second hand.
Well, alam
No.
naman, marami nga po nangyayari
rin ho
na
na yung-
pagka-spokesperson, naintindihan ko po yung sinasabi nyo sa ibang bansa, di ba? Pagka yung spokesperson na iiba yung statement.
And you know, and private doctors, there have been cases, especially in the United States before, that they would lie about the president's health. Pwede ba yung ganon?
Bawal
Should
ho.
Bawal ba
Bawal.
yan? Bawal
Lalong
sa ating constitution.
Oo,
Ganun ba
kasi
yun?
may duty yung estado eh. So if you're the doctor of the office of the president, you cannot lie.
It's the duty of the office of the president to inform the public on matters involving serious condition under the Constitution. Now, as to who, that responsibility falls on who has the knowledge, and it is them. No? You don't have to break privilege. Eh. Pwede naman i-authorize yung mga doktor, katulad nung nangyari po kay President Arroyo before, na may mga nakakapagsalita tungkol sa condition niya.
Do you think that the public should take on faith what the office of the president says?
Kung meron hong mag-question, they have the right to question.
Meron mag-question.
O, ang isa po na pwede nating tanungin is, ano ang current na policy ng opisina ng Malacanang tungkol dito? Kasi dapat, because it's part of the constitutional mandate, malinaw na meron silang nakalagay dyan
Well,
kung paano.
what would you suggest? Who should divulge anything to do with the state of health of the president? Your personal opinion.
The best should be the president himself in the spirit of transparency and public responsibility.
Okay.
At he should be the most credible kasi siya na yun eh. So we will not have any problem about the confidentiality. Kung sakasakali ho, hindi na niya kayang gawin yan. Kasi there might be some cases where the president is comatose. Alam nga naman, oy, ikaw pa ba okay pa? So it will now be the duty of the government doctors.
Sa tingin ko rin po, agree naman po kung willing yung presidente na siya mismo, pero pwede rin naman yung mga doktor, pero na-authorize siya ng presidente. And at the very least, there should be, para pong merong polisiya na sila na paano malalaman ng publiko dahil constitution. Kung wala yon, pwede nating itanong o i-demand sa kanila bilang publiko na lalo na nag-advocate sila ng freedom of information na part yon. Tapos makikita natin yung sagot nila. Pag hindi nila binigay, tapos mukhang serious, then
Then questionin
doon
natin.
tayong magpupunta ng iba pang procedure. Kasi part positive duty po siya eh,
Oo.
na i-disclose. Currently, the mechanism available in government for you to exercise your right to know is the freedom of information.
And there is a Freedom of Information Act.
And it's
Has it been
it's an
passed?
executive, it's not a bill,
It's
but
an
it
executive
covers
order.
the executive branch.
So, sasabihin natin sa kapuso natin, under that Freedom of Information Executive Order, I can write the office of the president and say what is the status of the president's health. And then what happens?
Then they should give you an appropriate response. Tas under pa sa procedure, may specific time po bago sila mag-respond.
In other words, you say, we can do it.
We can I think.
insist.
Because ang ano naman po sa freedom of information, specifically for matters of public concern. Tapos sinabi na rin po ng Data Privacy Act na talagang if it relates to public
National concern.
officials, then hindi mo siya pwedeng i-refuse na i-release. Ito pa, ang
Ayan.
mandate niya is the Constitution. So, ano pa bang tataas sa Constitution na nagsabi na may right to know ka?
Nagsulat si Kapuso. Hindi sinagot. Ano ngayon ang magagawa ng Kapuso?
Kung ano po ang ginagawa sa mga tao na
Hindi sumusunod
hindi
sa batas.
sumusunod sa batas, pwede po sigurong maging reklamo siya.
Sa ombudsman, ganun ba yon?
Oh, pwede yung kasuhan siya. Pwede rin ho,
Sino ang kinakasuhan?
yung ayaw hong sumagot.
Yung
Kasi
office of the-
trabaho ng opisyal ng gobyerno, nasagutin yan.
In other words, the matters of the health of the president is only important when it becomes serious enough to affect the president's performance
Correct.
as president. Are there any other branches of government in which sa umpisa pa lang, bago sila makonsider maging official, sinasabi you have to undertake a medical test and you have to undertake a psychological test?
Meron po, sa judicial branch, kung ikaw ay mag-apply bilang isang hukom, pinakamababang hukom sa MTC o pinakamataas na Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, kinakailangang dadaan ka sa psychological testing, psychiatric testing. Meron ho,
Everybody?
everyone, ma'am. Pangalawa, kailangan mag-submit ka ng medical certificate na wala kang karamdaman at fit to work ka.
Hindi nangyayari doon sa mga taong going for Congress or
Wala ho eh.
wala.
ho. maganda sana yun para kandidato ka pa lang, at least nalalaman
Alam
na ng
na-
tao.
oo nga naman.
Mas maganda yung kanilang basehan ng pagboboto. At I think that kind of process can be put in place. Hindi naman ho bawal yan because all of us must remember, whether elected or appointed, when you take on public service, public position, i-imbued ho yan with public interest.
Of course.
So gusto ng mamamayan na malaman, kaya mo ba
There should be
yan?
a medical
Matino ka ba
certificate.
para dyan?
What do you think, Kapuso? There should be a medical certificate. There should be a psychological test for all candidates to a position. And you think the COMELEC can do that?
I think they can. May rule-making power ho ang COMELEC
All-
as long as they're reasonable.
But Ivy says that in case it is questioned, they can go to court.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a declaration of policy. It's like if we do that, then we're saying talaga that as a country, ang gusto natin, magiging part na ng policy natin, na gusto natin, may certificate ka of good mental health,
Good physical health.
good physical health.